It's a rainy Saturday morning here in Arkansas. Yes, it is. I got up this morning and it was late. I love the rain. I think I sleep very well in the rain. The more rain, maybe I'm getting into hibernation, as Daniel says. Maybe I've been getting into hibernation. I just sleep in. I sleep in till, 10. Yeah, 10 o'clock. My goodness gracious, 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, usually I get up about, well, it's really 6:30, but it's 7:30 in the time change. Where's my glasses? I can't say a thing. Oh, here. So anyway, did you wake up this morning and say, I know who I am. I know who I am. I know what day it is. Did you? Say, Mema, cut that out. Cut that out, Mema. How are y'all this morning? Are y'all good? Got your cup of coffee? Saturdays are lazy days for me. Especially, well, I'll put it this way. This Saturday's lazy day. Let me be absolutely factual on that. Oh, my goodness, yes. Our company, we had a great time. Wasn't a lot of news coming from the hills. I get a lot of news, probably more from Penny up there. And sometimes I talk to Sharon, but I haven't been able to catch her up there, and because she's taking care of so many people. She just takes care of people. She's just a lovely person. And Penny's just, Penny and John and Josh, they're all busy, but Penny always takes time to talk to me and say something, even if it's just hello from the hills, Yeah, did you see the vest she did? I put up 2 videos back. How that homespun that she did, the yarn was, she did it herself. She's a spinner. I don't think they call it spinner. I don't know what they call. Penny, what do they call people that make yarn like you do? I know one thing. It is a beautiful thing to watch someone spinning. I think it would be very calming to a soul to spin. I've never even, I tried one time at, I think it was Mountain View. Yeah, Mountain View. It's a town in North Arkansas, and there's last time we were there, we little teenage girls showing us how to spin, and it was tempting to think, oh, I need to do this, but I may in later life get me a spinning wheel and figure out how to, maybe Penny can show me how, but until then I'm doing what I do, and it works for me right now. As you know, we all have to be comfortable where we are, and that's what I'm doing. Well, this is, you're wondering what I'm working on. This is, what do you call it? It's 5 shape instead of a square. It's 5 points. 5 points, and it started with the what do you call it? The COVID virus, pattern. Like that. It's really, really pretty. It's a beautiful, in fact. It's really beautiful. Only thing, when I got so far, I made it larger than I could figure out how to do it. So I decided, well, I better put a stitch in there that I know in that right corner. Yes, there's no that usually does. So I decided to do the granny stitch around it. Okay, well, that changed the shape, as you can tell, of the throw. Well, now that it's got all these angles on it, the more I put on it, the larger it gets. So I'm hoping eventually it'll be workable to cuddle up in, you know. But it is soft yarn, and these are just pieces of yarn, whatever I had. Well, I started out with one skein with this real pretty color. Um, and then as I went along, I found other colors that I put in there. There's one that I know Mrs. C sent me right there, and this might be one of them too. But what I'm doing is using ones pieces I've had left over from making the fingerless gloves and stuff as I go along, and I've got these here I'm going to add to it, and then this off-white I'm going to add to it. So I guess it's going to end up to be just a huge cuddle kind of, because it would be hard to I think this would be called a throw, because you couldn't really fold it very properly, I don't think, and put it on the back of a couch or a chair or something. It would probably be too big. But the thing would be that you could just throw it on the couch, you know, like the name of it, throw it on the couch. So that may be what this ends up to be. But the center of it is just gorgeous. And that pattern there, of course, most of y'all have done virus shawls, but this one, I think this is the one I got from Fiber Spider, following him. I like that. And I would be surprised if I could have figured out how to make it larger and larger, because I just couldn't keep up with the stitches to keep it the same. I just couldn't do it. I don't know why. But the pattern, anyway, was lost except for the center. And then, of course, Grandma stitches always came in to the rescue, because you can always depend on Granny stitches, you know. They can just make everything work. But anyway, we're going to add colors to that today, and because it's Saturday, it's drizzling rain, and it's 40 degrees, and I hadn't even had my first cup of coffee, and there it is. There you go, coffee cup. And then I have to put I have one coffee cup coaster there, and then the other one goes here. I have to take this one off because it falls off when I move the TV tray. This is a TV tray that's in front of me, and that's what my iPad is, you know, attached to. I'm so lazy I didn't even open the door to get the proper light for this video, but it is a video, and I wanted to visit with y'all, see what y'all were doing this morning, and see what y'all have to say in the comments. You know, I love to hear from you. And I'm sure a lot I've read, because I've just been sitting in bed and reading and replying on the comments. Well, let's see, how do I... So I watched some videos I read last night, and I didn't have any severe aches and pains or anything like that my medicine couldn't take care of. But, and my company left, so, but we went out to eat barbecue yesterday. It was fun. It's just amazing when you get around friends, you know, and what you talk about, you know. You just feel so comfortable. Good morning. I'm sorry about that. The phone rang, and it was my psychotherapist. Well, it's my new psychotherapist. And they're still trying to figure out if I'm insane or not. Let's see. What was I looking for? Oh, comments. That's it. The important thing in my life is my comments. My goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right. Let's see. Comments. There we go. Okay. The first one up this morning is Anna Zombie Frog Jordan. She has her website, YouTube channel. Check her out. You're so funny. I say lots worse. Have you put me on your map? No, I have not put you on my map, and I need to catch up. I'm not caught up, but I will be. And excuse me. And I'm so glad that you reminded me because I need to get on that. I'm just so lazy. I am. I'm really lazy. If I can't sit in this chair and do it, it's just hard for me to do. No, I don't know what that. If it's not where I can see it, it doesn't get done. You know. If I don't look at the bed, it doesn't get done. I don't make it up. But thanks for reminding me, and yes, I will. And when I do, I'm going to announce it to you all. Yeah, thank you, Anna. Yes, I've been watching your videos. You're just a crazy girl. Oh, and I love you. Oh, my goodness. Especially when you're singing. It's Bonnie Myers. Hey, Bonnie. It's supposed to have rain here tonight. So far, we have had pretty mild winter, but I'm wondering about March. I said the same thing to my sister yesterday. I did, Bonnie. I did. I'm afraid it may be a whopper. Yes. I remember March the 24th in 1963. We had an ice storm and a snowstorm in northeast Arkansas. That was the most dramatic I had ever seen in my life, up to that day. But it was a whopper, as you would say, a whopper. But it was the most beautiful thing. It was. Oh, but around here, though, Bonnie, we've got daffodils up, grape hyacinths up. The tulip trees are absolutely beautiful. And we've got also some blooming pear. I mean, it's just like, what? Whoa, save yourselves, save yourselves. It's not time yet. Yes, I do believe the same thing because it has been pretty mild. Yeah, it has been here in Arkansas. It says, I own where I live too. Oh, that's wonderful. I miss owning my own home because it's just great because I can't. I wish I had a home that was mine. Of course, I have to rent because that's the best I can do. But I'm so glad you do. It sure makes life a lot easier. But then you have to take care of the home. But still, I wish I'd never left the hills, but I just had no choice. Anyway, it's not a mansion. Oh, Bonnie goes on and says, I own where I live too. It's not a mansion, but it's a roof over my head. The only bills I owe are utility bills. Thank the good Lord for that, because by the time I get them paid, there's nothing left. I know you worry about your foot, about my foot. That is why I told you the foot is okay. I know it, Bonnie. I know it's all right. You wouldn't lie, would you? Oh, you would not, Bonnie. I could just give you a hug. Yes, when I lived up in the hills, all I had was my utility bills and feeding the animals, of course. But here, it's like I pay $850 a month for a place to live. The apartments they're in thousands, and then you pay utilities on top of them. So I'm lucky I'm here with my sister right now. But yes, I do worry about your foot, and I'm glad to hear it's okay. And yes, thank God you've got your own little mansion. I watched a video the other day, Bonnie, about this man in his box in California, and he said he lost his job, is what he said, and he lost his job, and he couldn't find a friend that would take him in because he didn't know any friends because he had moved from somewhere, just wherever he was. He lost his car. All these bad things happened. And so one day he decided he'd just have to build his own little place. So he went to a furniture store there in Los Angeles, and there were some homeless people fighting over a refrigerator box. You know, that the refrigerators come in. Well, I didn't know they come in boxes. But anyway, it's his story, not mine. And they were fighting over it, and they tore it up. So he just went over and got the box and put it back together with old rags and stuff that he picked up along the other beggars that threw them out in the trash or whatever. You know, just. And so he just started tying his rags up and putting knots in them. You know, like the ones where you take the sheet and you tie them together and put them down a window. Well, that's not what he did. What he did is he used that rope that he made out of clothes, shirts, all kinds of things, and wrapped it around the box to hold it together. And then on the inside, if he found something like an old skateboard or a part of it, he would use that in the walls inside the box. And then some people moved out and left a tarp, so he surrounded the from the bottom all the way around with the tarp, and he made him a little home. You know, he made him a little home, and he had all his little stuff in there. You know, his little home. And I was thinking all the things that was around him. You know, it was really quite precious. So wherever we are is our mansion. Is our mansion. It may not be our mansion on earth. I mean, it may be our mansion on earth, but it's not in heaven, you know. But still, we have the human nature to survive. We do. We want to give up sometimes, but we can't do that. No. There's too much to learn from going through an adventure like that. But yeah, I bet he got very, very low. I bet he did. But yes, I'm so glad your foot's good. Yes, I am. And here's Katie J. from Minnesota. I haven't watched a few days. Sure miss seeing your smiles and hearing your laughter. I love your YouTube also. Meeting new friends is wonderful. Never have shame in asking for help. A home health care worker would be great help to you. Well, thank you, my dear. Thank you, my dear. Very much. And here's Miss Southern Belle. He says, good morning, Miss Southern Belle. Good morning, sunshine. I know who I am. Enjoying the beautiful sunshine and glad to be alive. Hope you will be getting some sunshine soon. I'm sure I will. And hello, Selena. And Joy Bird. And all of y'all. I had some messages I read. Let's see what did I do with them. Here's one from Matt. Visit Mema. Very nice day, Mema. And yes, I do like the song a lot. Oh, okay. In my family on my mom's side is from Arkansas, around Little Rock. Well, by golly, your family's neighbors. Because Little Rock, you know, is not very far from anywhere in Arkansas. And that's true. I mean, it's only like, I don't know, just a few hours to the borders. Not unless you're going up northeast, you know, that's a little 4 hours or something like that, because all the hills and stuff. But yeah, welcome, neighbor. I forgot, where are you? Where are you at? I forget. Anyway, it's not important that you tell me. That's all right. But I do have a map that I've been talking about it for 6 months. I have the map, I have the little flags, and I have mounted on something, but I can't seem to figure out where to put it. My apartment's so, full. I may have to hang it from the ceiling on a string. I don't know. Like I do my plants. You never know. You never know. Yes. We were out yesterday, and it was so funny how, when you're around people, when I get to know people, as life goes on, and you can almost anticipate where you're going, like, you sit down there and start talking about tea, and everybody starts talking about tea. Yeah, I like tea. Some people don't talk when you go out to eat that much, but I'm a chatterbox anyway. But you hit any topic with me, and I'm going to talk to you. And are you that way? Or am I that? Maybe the psychotherapist is going to figure out that I am insane, but I think you'll love me anyway. I mean, you do have a choice to watch me or not watch me, so there you go. You can do what you do, and I'll do what I do. But I do wonder about what Bonnie was. Bonnie, that's right, because anytime we've had a mild winter, we've had some bad weather sometime along the line. But maybe this year's not that one of those kind of years. You never know. Never know. The weathermen, they think they know what they're doing. And I understand they can see big wind and little wind and rain on their radars and everything. But how about the radar that didn't tell Pearl Harbor all the jets were coming from, and the aircraft, aircraft carriers were coming from Japan? There was a whole bunch of them, and I didn't see any radar picking them up to save all our soldiers during that. Well, maybe I'm narrow-minded. I don't know. But you can't see everything because you're not God. You are not God. And sometimes things happen, and that is just the way it is. But I really, it's just like going to the doctor and they radar you. No, they don't radar you. What is that? X-ray. Yeah. It's not radar. Maybe they do. It's the same thing, I went in one of those brain scans one time, and you're in there, and it's going click, 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 and it says, "Are you all right?" You go click, 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 click. No, I'm not. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Click, 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 click. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this makes no sense, but it's very funny. Very, very funny. Oh my gosh, Keith Coates told me a story, and I have to share it with you if I've got enough time. Yeah, I'll just make time. Keith was telling us this story. And this is true. He said he was a young kid in his teens, I guess, and he was working. He got him an old '54 Ford, black. I think it was black. And so he was going to soup it up. I mean, really get it looking sharp, because he wanted the girls and all the guys to say, "Ooh, there's Keith, isn't he looking cool?" So he bought this Ford, and he took all the bumpers off. He took the doors off. He put he just worked and worked. And every time his daddy would walk by him, while he was working on his car in the shop or in the front, garage or in the driveway, but his dad would say, "You're tearing that board up. It'll never run again." Well, his dad worked at Oldsmobile. I think it was Oldsmobile Manufacturing Company there at Michigan. One of the car factories, anyway. Don't remember. But anyway, he continued working on his car. He did a day, night. So all he thought about was what he was going to do with that car, and he was just finishing up, and he was so proud. Had all this chrome all over it. He had put in power windows, and it was gorgeous. The interior, he had redone the interior. It was very, very nice, And it was, so when he saw it, when he finished it up, he stood back and he said, "Oh, that is the most beautiful thing I've done, right?" It's shiny, black, sleek, So he got him a date with a girl that he really, really liked. And so he picked her up in her, in his car, and they drove around town, in the car, the route that the kids take, through a town. I don't know what they call that, but I can't remember. But anyway, and he took his car around, and they're cruising all over the place, and they're meeting people and waving at people, and so he's really feeling good because everybody's noticing his new car. He's just so happy. So he really has felt like he's impressed this young lady. And so they pulled up at the McDonald's. Well, that was before McDonald's had a drive-through, and there weren't any seats inside. You just went to the front and ordered, through the window, like Dairy Queens and stuff like that at the time. And so they pulled up and parked and, waved to everybody and everything. And so he went to get out, and he realized he couldn't get out. His power windows weren't working. Power doors weren't. Well, the power in his. Wait a minute. He said his power windows didn't work. Maybe he said his power doors didn't work. I have it wrong. I'm sorry. Yes, the power doors he put in weren't working, so they were trapped inside the car at the drive-in. At McDonald's. And he realized that what had gone wrong. He said, a cable came off him. But he was trapped in the car, and so was the girl. I said, well, did you date her again? He said, oh yeah, we went on a date before again. But you know what he did tell me? He didn't tell me how he got out of that. But it was something about crawling out of a half-lowered window. He must have been little. Young man. Real young man. Go to press a girl and your power doors don't work. Can't get out. And they were hungry, I'm sure. Now, I know I didn't tell that story right, so you're going to have to retell it to yourself, make it funny. But last night, we just cracked up. It was so funny. He told us some other stories, but I don't remember them right now. But if I remember, I'll try to tell them right, because, yeah. Because Daddy says, you're tearing up that Ford. Every time you walk by him, you're tearing up that Ford. He says, you always want to impress your dad. And I did. About making it run. I said, did you ever tell your dad what happened? He said, oh, no. My dad was proud. I didn't want to tell him that. But I can imagine all the kids, at the McDonald's laughing at him. How cruel kids can be. But he didn't mention any of that. I don't think things like that bothered him. But it was a good, cute story. I thought, very cute story. Oh, and was it Matt or who told that a story on one of the YouTubes I watched last night? I can't remember if it was Matt or Surfer or I don't know which one. I'm watching so many right now. And he was telling the story about, but I don't have time to talk about it. See if I remember to tell it right. If I tell it. Well, it's time for me to add another color, so I'm going to go with sparkly green. Why not? It's weird and doesn't go with any of the rest of them, so I'll use it. Crocheters have a choice just like they do in life. I can use anything I want because nobody will probably ever use this blanket but me. Or maybe some guy that lives in a box. If I knew where he lived, I'd send him one. Yeah, maybe this one, in fact. But anyway. Never find him because it was one of those interviews. You know, those guys that walk the streets and they interview homeless people. Yeah, one of those kind of programs. So if you see it, let me know. But don't get too into it because it can sure break your heart. Break your heart. You know, where I saw in Japan where they have like, you know, like we used to have telephone booths. They have sleeping booths. Yeah, you just go in there and put your quarter in and sleep in a booth. But it's not, it's a bed. You know, it's like a little thing. Oh, and I didn't tell you, in Little Rock, they're going to put in a homeless tiny house community in Little Rock. Yeah. I mean, we're talking downtown Little Rock. You know, not downtown, but in the quadrant. Well, not quadrant, but in that section. So I'm anxious to see how that goes. And I'm wondering if Tiny House is going to be involved in that. Wouldn't that be grand? Yes. In fact, I need to call Randy. You know, he's the one that has the credible houses. And he's built a community in East Tennessee of all the tiny houses. So he's looking for a place. I think he's going to Arizona or something like that for a while. But anyway, that's enough for today. I hope that you remember that you are special. You are special. Look at yourself. Did you look in the mirror this morning, by the way? Well, I did. Yeah. And there was this old lady looking at me. Yeah. She must have been sad. I had to tell her a joke. Yeah, I did. No, it wasn't the car joke. No, it wasn't the cold water joke. No. The joke was, I know who you are. You can't hide from me. I'm talking to a mirror. Okay. Remember, you're special. You are special. Do what you want to do today. That moment has just flown by. We've been talking for 22 minutes of our lives. And you need to live. Be happy. Crochet. Eat. Go out to do whatever makes you happy. I think I'm going to have coffee. It made me happy. But remember, God has you in the palm of his hand. Yes, he does. Pray for Mother Earth, the birds, the bees, the flowers, and the trees. And for each other. For each other. Give yourself a hug from all of us. A big old hug. Oh! They look silly, but it does feel good. Yeah. Till tomorrow. Bye-bye.